Hey, love bugs, what's up? I hope you're having a good morning, noon, night, whenever this video may reach you. Do your girl a favor and hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you can get that ding, ding, ding whenever I upload a new video. So today, we are going to be talking about something that is actually really sad, y'all. Sorry, 2 seconds. It's really sad. So a 6-year-old was unalived by a member of her family for the plumbing, the toilet overflowing. And then a 24-year-old was unalived by a disgruntled boyfriend. Both of these cases are so sad. Like, honestly, like when I was watching the news videos on the 6-year-old, it kind of like brought tears to my eyes. Like, I feel like I'm about to like be emotional even talking about this with you guys, but I seen these 2 cases recently and I feel like we don't talk about this enough. And I'm gonna read, some statistics on the Black femicide rate because we talk about these things. And I remember I did a video and I was talking about I believe we were talking about this kind of was segued off of us talking about Cynthia G and people saying things about her and her not being on the internet at the time. And this guy, remember, he called in. I don't know if you guys remember this, but he called in and he was like, "Oh, Black women kill." Ooh, I'm not supposed to say that. Black women unalive Black men too at the same rate. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you have to be delusional. Like, you just want to have something to say because there is no way that you could absolutely believe that this is true. Like, there's no way. We are not the ones that's unalive in the community. And I say this all the time. Like, whenever there's a tragedy, whenever there's like, one of them doing something crazy, it's always, we got to do better. We got to do better. And I constantly say this to y'all. We don't got to do thing. It's not a it's not us. We not out here unaliving the community at alarming rates. It is not us. And that makes me really upset that they're always saying we got to do better. No, we don't. It's them. It's the men. It just is what it is. They don't like to hear it because it's a hard pill to swallow to know that your likeness is literally the cause of the destruction and the demise and the unaliving of your community. They unalive each other at alarming rates, and they unalive us, and they unalive the kids. It's just terrible. It's so disgusting. Like, I really cannot. Like, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing? It's really sad. So, okay, let's start with and both of these cases happened in the state of Texas too. Let me share my screen. So this is the Daily Mail. So Texas cheerleading coach and mother of 3, 24, her name was Rosalyn, is found unalived in her apartment after suffering blunt force trauma as boyfriend 23 is charged with unalive just weeks after posting 1-year anniversary saying she is his world. Her name was Rosalyn Lewis. She was 24 years old. Her boyfriend's name was William Thomas. He was 23 years old. He's arrested and charged. And this is just so sad. A cheerleading coach and a mom of 3, blunt force trauma, which means he had to like strike her really hard a few times in order to unalive her from striking her. This is crazy. Like, and her kids are babies. Elakai, 2 years old, Aria, 3 years old, Caleb, 5. Oh my goodness. And she has to set up a GoFundMe. And we need to talk about that too. Like, I need to get back up on my life insurance policies. A lot of us need to make sure that we have life insurance policies so that when we, if something tragic happens, we don't have to get a GoFundMe. Like, even though, you can still make a GoFundMe. I have a GoFundMe, but that shouldn't be, the only way that you could be buried or bury a loved one. So we need to be up on them life insurance policies. I know I'm not about to tell you my business, but I have a couple, but I don't have my own personal, like, that's something that we need to have personally. But this is so sad, y'all. This like kind of rocked me to my core. I was like, oh my goodness. And she was so pretty. She was so pretty. Look at her. Full of life, 24 years old. Like 24 is so young. Like that, you don't even, we go through so many phases of life as we begin to age and mature and, you know, experience life. And she has children that are now going to be motherless. And they just celebrated an anniversary. And this is him. Look at him. It's just like so evil and wicked. Like just I just cannot. It really yes, the diva. We need our Smith and Wessons. We absolutely do. We absolutely do. Because this is just ridiculous. Like, what did she do to make him do that? Like, and you know, I hate that I even say what did she do. This is not me victim blaming. I'm just saying what could have enraged this man so much to whereas he struck her that hard. And the fact that he did it and that was the fatal blow, it just leads me to believe that he already was being aggressive and abusive toward her. And that's another thing. And when we're younger, we don't really understand the telltale signs. And when we grow up in trauma fueled, you know, household settings, we don't really understand that aggression, stalking, abuse. Like sometimes you think that's cute, like, oh, he loved me because he crazy. Like, no, when you get those red flags, you need to run for the mountains, run for the hills, sis. Don't stick around, because this cannot be the first time that he ever shown some type of red flag that he was aggressive. And look how small she is. Oh my goodness, she's tiny. Oh my goodness. That is so sad. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. 3 beautiful children, a beloved daughter, niece, sister, granddaughter, cousin, and best friend. He's being held in the Jasper County Jail on a $1 million MURDER charge bond. Oh my goodness, these are her children. Oh, they so small. She was such a pretty girl. They're just so sad. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. And they both look like babies. Well, they are at 23 and 24. Like, what type of anger issues did this, like, look at this. They literally look like they're in high school still. And they're all over social media together. And you just never know. Like, you see these couples out here on social media and you think that they're in love. You think that it's a fairy tale. And it's literally hell on earth behind the scenes. Lewis was best known as Roro or Coach Ro and trained multiple cheerleading groups. Her mother says she was taken away from her family. I think that means from her family, from a malicious act of someone she trusted and once loved. They need to proofread this a little better. Her lifetime dream was to become a veterinarian tech and to continue leading and coaching stunning stars to the state championships. That's so sad. Oh man, y'all. Another one of us losing our lives senselessly at the hands of a man that we thought loved us and cared for us. Men are supposed to be protectors. But I say this to you guys all the time. I'm not totally for dismantling the patriarchy, because if we do, then we will have no protection. We need men to protect us from men. It just is what it is. Men would be running amok and acting a bat crazy lunatic fool if they didn't have the law to answer to. It would literally be the purge. Thank you, JC. Thank you. Thanks, boo. Hey, PJ. Thank you. Sometimes a man can secretly be jealous and hate. You better preach. You better preach. It didn't say whether or not those was his children. That's the one thing that I didn't see in any of the articles, like news clippings that I found. You harm the mother of your children means you never cared about the children either. Now they don't have any parents. That part. And when you take a life, you're taking 2 lives, because you're taking your own, because now you locked away. You can't, you that's it. You're a part of the system. And you taking the other person's life. That is just so sad. Now those children are going to have to go into the system. And child protective services are not always protecting children. I say this too. When I remember when it came out, when everybody kept saying, oh, Krishan's baby needs to be taken away from her. I'm like, No, Krishan just needs to learn and she needs to get it together. Maybe she needs to take a mommy and me class, but children do not always fare better in the system. Kids get lost in the source in the system. They end up in these foster care homes. They end up with foster care parents that do not love them and that treat them way worse than what their parents actually, how their parents actually treated them and what they got removed from their homes for in a lot of instances. Seriously. My stepmother works for CPS and she was trying to see if I could work there. I said, I don't think I would be cut out for that. I'm too sensitive. Like I wouldn't be able to see certain things. And she would try to tell me stories. I'm like, I don't even want to hear about, like, I couldn't, like, kids are so precious. They're so innocent. It's just sad. Speaking of how innocent and precious children are, trigger warning, guys, trigger warning. But we need to talk about this because they get up here and they pump fake and they make it seem like we're making up things and like we're lying when we say that literally they're unaliving us at alarming rates. We're literally an epidemic at this point. Okay, shouts out to Hebby with the news. I think that's how you say it. Fair use. 6-year-old papaled and unalived over spilling water by relative. Like what? In Texas. I don't know what's going on in Texas, but this happened in Texas as well. And you know what's crazy? Side note, Coolio, because I was always going to Texas. Like whenever me and Coolio would talk, I'll be like, I'm in Texas, Houston. He used to be like, you better be careful out there because the DV rates out there is crazy. And I was used to be like, what are you talking about?
Girl is dead after police say she was shot multiple times over spilled water. This happened at an apartment complex on Shaver Street and Alan Genoa Road. KPRC2's Bill Barajas is live with the very latest in this investigation. Bill?
I don't know what's going on.
Just to hear these things happening, like, especially here. I mean, you always hear stuff happening here, shootings and everything, but a 6-year-old, that just, it tugs at my heart, man. I can't. I feel bad for the mom. Over some spilled water. Makes no sense.
And you heard from neighbors, their residents here at this apartment complex off of Shaver in Pasadena. Again, police have cleared the scene here just moments ago, but there's still lots of questions surrounding what happened here. Pasadena police saying a 6-year-old girl possibly losing her life, possibly over spilled water. They have again cleared the scene. You can see family members have been allowed to go back in to the apartment. We saw them cleaning the apartment earlier. They are now just gathered outside talking. This happened at around 11:30 this morning here in Pasadena at an apartment complex off of Shaver, again in the Pasadena area. The details, again, still coming in. But again, what we know right now is that a 6-year-old was shot, appears multiple times, or at least multiple shots were fired by a relative after some sort of argument over spilled water. It's unclear what the relationship is between that relative and that young girl. The young girl was rushed to the hospital but died a short time later.
And what scares me is I see another little girl sitting on the stairs. That probably was her sister or her cousin. She'll never ever see her again. And that's traumatizing for her as well. Oh my God.
Later, police telling us her death was tough on responding officers who attempted to perform CPR. It's also taking a toll on those who live in this complex. As far as the suspect, we're told he actually took off just shortly after the shooting, but was caught just down the road. He is currently being interviewed by detectives. We will continue asking questions and bringing the very latest as it comes in to us.
Now let's go to an update so you can see, so y'all can see what this demonic demon ass man looks like. And this is for this week. This is for all of the men that have told me that I didn't know what I was talking about and that I was lying when I said that they out here unaliving the community. It's not us. It's not us. It's them. They need to check themselves. They swear, oh, it's not all of us. It's not all of us. Enough of a majority rules. Enough of them are out here unaliving women, children, and themselves. It's crazy.
Pino, thanks for joining us on this digital format.
So it was because the toilet was clogged. This is why she lost her life. A 6-year-old little girl.
KHOU 11 News at 5:30. Tonight we have disturbing new details about the man accused of shooting and killing a 6-year-old girl in Pasadena. It allegedly happened because of a...
Do y'all see that man? He looks like a demon. Oh my God, it scares me. When I seen this picture, I was like, oh my God. Like frightened, scared, spooked, afraid, nervous, and everything in between.
Clogged toilet. Matt Doherty has the story.
All right, Mr. Means, you're here, accused of the capital felony.
During his first court appearance, Ramian Means did not offer any explanation for what happened inside that Pasadena apartment Friday morning. The 35-year-old's being held without bond until at least tomorrow, when he'll make his next court appearance. On Friday morning, Pasadena police say an argument ensued between Means and the 6-year-old girl. They say Means was angry that a toilet was clogged and water began.
An argument ensues between a 35-year-old man and a 6-year-old girl. Like, are you serious? This is not even the worst part of this story, y'all.
And a spill on the floor. That police say Means may have left and returned to the apartment with a gun. They say he shot the girl several times. Police arrived minutes later.
They attempted CPR on her from here all the way to the hospital. She was declared deceased there. The suspect who shot her fled on foot, and one of our patrol officers located him a few blocks away.
Harris County court records show Ramian Means has an extensive criminal history.
This man looks so evil. Like, it scares me that this is even on my screen. Like, he looks possessed.
Which includes felony convictions involving injuries to children. In 2006,
Look, he got felony convictions involving injuries to children. Why on earth would they allow this man to be around children ever again in life? And I blame him, and I also blame every other adult that allowed these kids to be around this man. And this is what we do in our community. And this is why I say statistics will never truly reflect what we actually endure, what we actually sweep under the rug, and what we actually allow. Because this is crazy. This is crazy. They failed this child. And no, it ain't no telling what he did to the other little girl that was sitting down. We have no idea. But he has a record of being abusive towards children, and you're going to allow him to even be in the vicinity of a kid?
Means pleaded guilty to reckless bodily injury of a child, for which he served 10 months in jail. Prosecutors claimed Means pushed a stroller carrying a child on its side, causing the child to fall out and get hurt. In another case from 2008, Means pleaded guilty to child endangerment after he left a young child at home. Now in this latest case, Means is charged with capital murder. Police say they're not ready to release the name of the girl who was killed on Friday, and they have not shared the connection Ramian Means may have had to the child or her family. Matt Doherty, KHOU 11 News.
Wait, so they said, or her family. So, oh my God, this better not have been the mother's boyfriend. This better not have been the mother's boyfriend. This, y'all, it just makes me so upset. Like, I just needed to come and talk about, we don't usually do super heavy topics like this, but that I keep seeing these stories so much that I'm like, okay, we need to talk about this. And then we could get back to the mess. But this is just like crazy. This is really what we're out here experiencing. And we get silenced. We get told it's not that serious. We get told we're lying. It's not true. This is really what's going on in the world. I'm not even talking about, I'm just talking about America. The world, it gets crazy. Of course, my plight is a melanin-rich woman's plight, but women in general suffer a lot in silence at the hand of lunatic, psychopathic men. It just is what it is. Now, look at this. Because we just going to look at some, like, Google some statistics right quick and see what it says about the femicide rates. Black female victims of homicide by state, 2016 to 2020. Since 2010, Black women nationwide have been unalived at an average rate of 6.04 victims per 100,000 Black women. The highest rate of all other race groups for women. Did y'all hear that? Because they love to say white men White men doing it too. White men doing it too. No, we are being unalived at a higher rate than any other race of women in this country. Is that sinking in? That's crazy. When I read this initially, I was like, this can't be real. It's real. For those that go missing, statistics paint an equally troubling picture. Okay, this is Advancing Kids, promoting children's optimal health, development, and well-being. Black Femicide, a silent public health crisis by Sarah Gideon. Black femicide is a silent public health crisis that has yet to be uncovered in the midst of current social movements. Why has it yet to be uncovered? It's because it's us. You see how the Me Too movement was hijacked? The Me Too movement was started by a melanin-rich woman, and until Caucasian women are able to hijack this, they don't get next to it, they don't touch it, but yet they always come to recruit us when they have issues. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? We get used for everybody, for every other community. We get used. But we out here getting unalived at alarming rates, higher than any other woman in this country. Is anybody coming to our rescue? We need to pay attention. We always trying to jump on a bandwagon and fight for people that don't give a damn about us, that would not pee on us if we was on fire. Every day in 2020, at least 4 Black women and girls were unalived, according to The Guardian, which makes this an urgent issue, an urgent matter to raise awareness. 4 of us a day. That's crazy. What is Black femicide? Black femicide is a term coined by Rosa Page, an Arkansas-based nurse and founder of Black Femicide US, which is a movement to bring awareness to the disproportionate number of murdered, I'm trying not to say that word, of unalives of Black women and girls. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 1,821 Black women and girls were inward in 2020 in the United States. Black femicide affects Black women and girls across all age groups, from children attending schools to senior citizens. Firearm violence has driven the homicide rates even further, with 3/4 of homicide victims unaliving of gunshot wound. Y'all, they out here pow-powing us. That man just pow-powed multiple times a 6-year-old. Do y'all know, most of y'all have kids. 6-year-olds are so small. You could yell at a little girl and she will cry. Oh my God. Awareness of this, it's a public health crisis. That's crazy. This is literally a public health crisis. Yet it has no national news coverage. And when we talk about it, we get told that we lying and we making up stuff. And we just bitter and angry and want to be masculine. And all they care about is, someone said in the chat, all they want to talk about is, do we want to submit or not? What about talking about how they need to stop unaliving the community? How about that? Awareness of this public health crisis has remained low among feminist movements, news media, law enforcement, and community-based organizations. You want to know why? Because the Caucasians, clear-ass women cannot hijack this, because they're not being affected at the same rates as us. They can't hijack it. That's why. That's why I always say feminism ain't got nothing to do with us. We ain't never been to rest in femininity and be a kept woman and have the option of whether or not we wanted to go out and work. We was always on a goddamn field. We was always on a plantation. We was at the clear women's houses, nursing their babies, being the nannies, cleaning up behind them and cooking for them. Like, let's just keep it. We got to keep it real. We have to keep it real. Intimate partner violence among young Black girls and women. The driving force for the Black femicide rates is believed to be intimate partner violence. So this is men that we're in relationships with, that we love on, that we struggle with, that we ride or die for, that we hold down when they're in a penitentiary, that we let get parole to our houses, that we send care packages for, that we help them raise their other kids that they done had by other women. This is what's happening. Research has shown that IPV intimate partner violence disproportionately affects young Black girls and women across the country. Do y'all hear that? About 45% of Black women have experienced physical and actual violence. 45%. That is alarming. This is why I always say, if you look to the left, you look to the right, a lot of us have a common thread, and that is that we have been treated unkindly by Black men. That's how I'm gonna put that. Or just men in general. This is crazy. Black female victims are 3 times more likely to be N-word by someone they know, according to an annual analysis of homicide data from the Violence Police Center. Several risk factors can play a role in IPV against Black women and girls. Those who are living in poverty have a higher likelihood to face victimization due to lack of money or resources to escape their abusers safely and effectively. Abusers are able to isolate their victims from friends and family, which can escalate or facilitate other forms of abuse. This was an issue prior to CV-19 pandemic. However, stay-at-home orders that were implemented to curb the spread of the virus had unintended consequences where women were trapped at home with their abusers, putting them at higher risk for IPV, according to an article published in the Journal of Advanced Nursing. Listen to this part. Pregnant Black women are 11 times more likely to be victims of femicide, according to an article. And then they get mad when we get up here and say, keep the womb. They got mad at Cynthia G and wanted to try to run her off of my YouTube because she said stop giving birth to these. Look at what's happening. They unaliving you with their babies, not just yours, in your womb. This is some slavery plantation type time. Oh my God. It's important for modern feminist movements that focus on reproductive rights to center Black girls and women's voices on these issues, as these groups are often left out of the discussion. It's because they just recruit us for numbers. When it comes to our plight and what we experience, nobody don't give a damn about us. That's why we got to center ourselves, decenter everybody else. Stop going over to every other community, helping them with their biracials, helping them, teaching the clear women and wives how to cook soul food for Thanksgiving. We need to stop that. We need to prioritize ourselves. We need to put ourselves first. We need to organize ourselves. Like, because this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm sorry. This is making me a little passionate. Stereotypes and biases of Black women and girls can greatly influence how Black women and girls are viewed and treated as victims, because they always see us as strong, subhuman. We don't experience pain the way the clears and everybody else do. And then they call us masculine. This is like, I don't even know if I really need to read all the rest of this. Y'all want me to read the rest of this? Or y'all want to pause and read it for yourself? Should I read the rest? Let me just read the rest since we up here. Okay, stereotypes and biases. I didn't even read this. I'm reading this with you guys right now. Like, I skimmed it a little bit, but I didn't fully read it. The strong Black girl trope is a stereotype Black girls face at a very young age. Yes, and we are adultified at a very young age. I'm adding that in there. I was adultified at maybe 10, I would say 10, 11 years old. Like, once I started to develop a little bit, it was automatically, she grown. She thinks she grown. And then, of course, I got a little older, 13, 14, grown ass men was trying to run behind me and sniff behind me. It was just, okay. It is a race gender trope that describes expectations for Black women such as strength and resilience, assuming different roles, and always caring for others, because we've always been caring for others since the inception of this country. We've always raised everybody goddamn kids, and we still got to raise men. Even at the expense of one's own life. While this trope can enhance high self-esteem, it can also negatively affect the ways Black women and girls are treated and advocated for. According to an article published in Psychology of Women Quarterly, there is less empathy toward Black female victims of domestic violence or police violence. Hello? Well, we get unalived by the po-po too, but you don't see nobody marching in the street for us. But let a Pookie and a Ray Ray get unalived. Yep, I said it. And they got a whole, everybody's outside. The whole country is marching for them. I wonder why. And a lot of these men be unsavory as hell in their real life. Not to say that they deserve to get unalived by the popo. I'm just saying it's not like they was Barack or upstanding citizens in the community. It don't be given it. Because of this bias, Black female victims are less likely to report their abuses to law enforcement and social services. Hello, didn't I tell y'all that? I've experienced things that they face victim blaming, shaming. I've experienced that. Or even accusations that they perpetuated the abuse situation. And I've experienced that. According to a University of Florida 11 School of Law publication, there are specific cultural norms within Black communities that hinder Black women and girls from seeking help, referring to abuse as a family issue. We was just talking about that. They sweep it under the rug. Because why was that man that just unalived that 6-year-old girl allowed around children with his rap sheet? 3 different felonies of abusing and neglecting and putting children in harm's way, and you're going to have him around little girls? Or something that should be kept quiet between households, according to an article published in the journal Trauma, Violence, and Abuse. And this is also stems back from, oh, you don't want to keep a Black man down. Oh, you don't want to put the Black man in the system. Oh, we're supposed to protect the Black man. Oh, we're supposed to coddle the Black man. The Black man already got it hard enough in society. The Black man is on the bottom of the totem pole by the clear man. The Black man don't have no place. The Black man, the Black man, the Black. It's always about the Black man. Yet we constantly have to pick up the slack. We suffer in silence at the hand of the Black man. And because we've continued to do so throughout the centuries, now it's a bait and switch. Like, oh, it's your fault that I'm like this. It's your fault because you're a single mother and you raising us to be terrible. No, you know what? We are responsible for not holding these niggas accountable. That's what we're responsible for. For still allowing a pervy ass fucking uncle to come around the kids. That's what we're responsible for. For being abused and treated crazy and not calling a fucking popo because we don't want to add to getting a Black man locked up, or because we think we in love, or because we feel like, oh, he didn't mean it. That's what the fuck we are at fault for. Having no goddamn standards. What Cynthia say? No standards, boundaries, or motherfucking expectations. I've been trying not to cuss like I said, like, because y'all know I'm trying not to cuss like that. But this is really like, other barriers for seeking help include lack of awareness of current resources, lack of professional and community resources or support, and IPV-related stigma or shame within Black women and girls due to biases against them. Future prevention efforts. Media outlets must highlight stories on missing Black girls, Black femicide and violence, which we're going to do more of, because these 2 stories that I just came across, the little girl, that part really just like shook me. Like, okay. Community-based organizations that focus on community violence also need to include voices of Black girls and women to better understand the unique circumstances they face regarding intimate partner violence. Basically, the men that we love, that we accept fucking 20% for, and we bring in 80, is unaliving us. The men that we let shoot our club up and get our womb and crack our egg is unaliving us with the baby in the womb. Hospitals and medical centers need to have more knowledge on the different barriers that prevent Black young girls and women from reporting intimate partner violence and seeking care, and have an understanding on how to screen Black female patients for IPV with cultural sensitivity. And that was the article. Lord. Okay, what y'all got to say? Now let's take a couple comments, and then we're gonna come back and do I think I'm gonna do 2 or 3 more shows. All right, I want us to do better for ourselves and the children. Yes. It's melanated genocide. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. They wanted to delete each other so the population on our ethnicity to reduce dramatically. It's not, no, I'm not soul food. I understand where you're coming from, but it's not melanated genocide. It's men genociding the community, period. Because we women are not out here unaliving each other or themselves or the children the way that these niggas are. Just period. I don't like the generalization of that statement, but I do understand what you're saying. But the generalization of it all needs to stop. And that's why they get absolved. They're not held accountable because we generalize. We, us. No, there's no us and no we when it comes to these statistics that I just read to you guys. It's men, Black men specifically. We are getting unalived at a higher rate than any other race of woman. And don't they say that we make up such a small percentage of this country? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just fucking, give me a second, because I'm just, hold up. Okay. Like I told y'all, this got me a little passionate. I feel like I'm like, I'm trying to, whew. Okay. All right, Nicole. Exactly, because I'm not out here K-worded. Hello! That part. Thanks for the important message. Of course. This was just on my heart to really talk about this because we don't get into this like that. And it really was, I saw the 24-year-old and I was like, dang, another one? Because I keep seeing these articles. I keep coming across this. And then I was on TikTok and then I saw the 6-year-old little girl and literally brought tears to my eyes because I'm like, that's a baby. Like, a little girl didn't have a fighting chance. Like, how she was failed on so many fronts. Prevention, leave these, yep, that part. And y'all don't even understand. Like, another reason why I haven't been in a relationship is because I always felt like a man was going to take my life. Like, I was very afraid for my life. I'm like, these niggas is crazy. I've really experienced psychopathic men. Y'all really wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. I gave y'all a little bit of details about being driven into oncoming traffic. I don't want to talk about, like, it's just so triggering, but I've really experienced like almost being unalived by a man multiple times. By the grace of God, I'm here. And I think I know that I'm here so that we could talk about these things and I could be a martyr. I don't know. Like, I'm just doing what's on my heart. And this is just, it's just too much. Like, I keep seeing these stories, but this one really, really like hurt me really bad because the toilet was clogged. We feel your passion. It's okay. Well, it's crazy. I've been abstaining from relationships for 3 years and I'm very afraid and super cautious of my safety. Me too. And I still feel like even if I entertain someone, you just never know, like, if you're making the right choice. Because it's one thing for a person to just act crazy or like curse you out or call you a bunch of times. But no, like, I've been stalked. Like coming out of places and the motherfuckers there. And I'm like, how did you even know where I was at? Phones tapped, like people listening to my conversation. That shit is fucking crazy. Like, y'all, it's wild out here. Like, we go through so much and we just show up with a smile and we get dragged for filth, you know, and it's constantly our flaws, our downfalls, what our shortcomings is constantly being overhyped and over dramatized, and they shining the light on the fact that we don't want to go 50-50 no more, and why we don't got the relationships like our grandmothers and them. And I saw this video, once again, I saw it on TikTok first, but I saw it reposted on the blogs where an older woman, she grew up on a plantation. She got pregnant at the age of 14, and her baby daddy called her black, nappy headed, and ugly, and said, I don't want to be with you. I'm gonna go be with my lighter complected girlfriend. And she was forced to get married. And she didn't want to be married to that man. Marriage back then was like slavery, and it's still like that in a lot of the ways. And people be swearing, oh, because you ain't married, because no man ain't choose you, you're gonna be lonely. Bitch, take me to Petco. If this is what it entails, if I gotta get stalked, harassed, and be a fucking slave, I'd rather be by myself with a cat. I'm telling you the truth. I'd rather be by myself with a fucking cat if that means that I'm going to have my sanity in my fucking literal life. You think you choosing somebody that's all of these men that's unalive and these women are not fucking a Pookie and a fucking Ray Ray. And that's what I need y'all to understand too. They look like educated lames too. They preachers, they deacons, they businessmen. It's not just a fucking Pookie and a fucking Ray Ray. It's not just a convicted felon. Life is way too short. There are other men out here. If that's what you want, leave black males alone. They are not worth a dime. And you know what? Even through all of what I've experienced a white guy that was fucking a stalker and crazy and terrible too. This is why I'm telling y'all, I have a very unique experience. I have not lived my life like a regular person. You know, like I don't think like other people. I explore. I'm very free. I probably would have been a hippie if this was the 60s and 70s. Like, you know, I've dealt with different types of men. Like, it's not limited to black men. However, based on these motherfucking statistics, they unaliving us, and we get unalived more than anybody else in this country. So more than any other woman. So in this regard, yes, solely something needs to happen. We got to figure out what to do. Like something got to happen, because this is ridiculous. Like, this is crazy. I didn't even know it was this bad. Like, I also saw that every 4 hours we get unalived. This is crazy. And it's the fact that these men never get up here and talk about that. All they talk about is we don't look good enough, we not feminine enough, we not this enough, we not that enough. When these women are literally out here doing everything, I've seen women do everything for a man that wasn't shit. They lie so much. It's a fucking scam. They lie so much on this internet. They lie so much. In real life, the average melanin rich woman is taking care of a fucking man. She's doing more than just taking care of herself. Because I feel like if you're going 50-50, bitch, you just taking care of yourself and I'm just taking care of myself. But if I'm taking care of myself financially and you taking care of yourself financially, and I'm coming home and I'm cooking for you and I'm cleaning up behind you and I'm picking up behind you and I'm scheduling your doctor's appointments, I'm taking care of you. No matter which way you want to look at it, I'm taking care of you. Women are taking care of men. They're getting domestic workers and sex work and sex for free. It's not that much fucking love in the world. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. People can say, oh, that's why you ain't got no man, bitch. And a man is the easiest fucking thing to get. You could just go and pick one. It don't fucking matter. At any stage, you could go and pick a fucking nigga. Like, let's just get, like, come on. As long as you look good, you could get you a man. And it ain't even about youth, because you being youthful, that still don't guarantee you're going to get a quality motherfucking man. You're still going to motherfucking 80-20 at 22 years old. Body tight, smoking cigarette. And you still out here going paying half with a man. Like, come on. The average man is not a high earning man. The average man is not a high value man. Why they lie so much? It just really get on my nerves so bad. And then all of these men don't even be looking that good like that. Like, to where they just think they can have their pick of the litter. A lot of men are not even attractive like that. Like, are we really going to talk about it? A lot of men physically are not even attractive. That's why they got to have money. They got to have personality. Niggas got to be funny, because physically it don't hit like that. On average, women are more attractive than men. You're likely to find more attractive women than you are to find more attractive men. It really is a scam. And we need to wake the fuck up. We let them pump fake us out into thinking that they the motherfucking prize and we ain't shit. And I'm tired. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. And I'm not no ugly ragamuffin ass bitch that's getting up here telling y'all, oh, men ain't shit. We talking facts. Oh, I hate men. I'm not even saying that. I don't hate men. But we're speaking facts and we're talking about what we are experiencing in this country. We are talking about what we are experiencing in this community. I'm not getting up here saying, oh, you know, men, bitch, because I attract all types of men. Wealthy men. I don't fuck with broke men. So any man I ever talk to, he got some money. Let's just keep it. He got some type of money. Now, if he's a scrub the ground ass nigga, it's a bunch of bitches scrubbing the ground with men that have money. Like, let's just keep it real. So it's not like I'm some bitch that cannot get a man to save her life and don't nobody want me and I'm washed the fuck up. It don't give that. So you can't nobody, me telling y'all this, it's not predicated on whether or not I can fucking get a man. Because they love to do that. Oh, she just hit the wall. Don't nobody want to. It don't give that. They are out here unaliving us. They are out here slaving us and pimping us the fuck out. And we need to do better. We need to do better. We need to have more self-esteem. We need to be more confident. We need to know that we are the fucking prize. And stop letting these funky ass niggas get up here and fucking tell us that we ain't shit without them and that we can't do better than them. Because it's a fucking lie. Bitch. I don't give a fuck. This shit just made me so angry. Like I think I'm cussing a lot because I don't want to cry. Thank you, boo. Women need to learn how to live happily alone before taking a partner. Stop competing with other women for me. You better say that again. You better say that again. And this is why I always tell y'all to decenter men, and men are not the fucking prize. Because how do you win a prize? You gotta win a prize. You gotta compete for a prize. You competing for men. What? Girl, I be telling y'all, go get you some. Sit on that thing. But don't live there. Don't nobody gotta know. Let him be a sneaky link. Bitch, don't be in real life with these niggas. He got to earn that. It got to be somebody that's worthy. We cannot be out here trying to turn community dick into husbands. We cannot do that. A man that's scrubbing the ground, lazy as all outdoors, we trying to turn him into a husband just because he look a little good on paper. Girl, you are, No. Get you some dick and keep it the fuck moving, sis. Don't live there. Don't leave no evidence. We should not know that you was screwing somebody. I don't mean to laugh, but we got a dick be ruining our lives. We got to do better. Hey, boo. Yes, love. When they can't say you're ugly, bitter, or hating because you hit the wall. That part, they come up with more lies. They will always blame everyone else but themselves. Hello? And then they don't understand, like, it's not just because you got money. Don't nobody give a fuck about that no more. Are you likable? Like, men really be thinking they special because they got a job. Like, sir, it's 2023. Kids out here making a fucking bag off TikTok. Like, you cannot really think. You can't think that a bitch is supposed to bow down and grovel on the fucking floor at your feet because you're making a little bit of cash. Like, come on. Come on. Come on. It's wild. It's wild. It's the wild, wild west out here. And we just got to do better at protecting ourselves and at protecting our hearts and at protecting our wounds, because look at what's happening to us. I don't like to say these things. And the fact that I even told y'all that I always thought a man was going to take my life, that's really deep down inside how I felt. And that's another reason why I isolate and I'll date you, but everybody's always going to be like this. And I don't want to continue on that way. And I'm, more healed than I have been. And, but I use discernment more. I pay attention more. If something doesn't feel right to me, like, I protect my feelings. So I could act like I'm in love with you, but I'm detached. I really know I practice detachment because I've had to, and it has been a defense mechanism. We just got to keep it real. And sometimes if people don't talk about, like, you know, what somebody said, I'm not ugly and washed up and bitter. But when you aren't an ugly or an unattractive woman, that comes with a whole other set of problems that we don't talk about a lot. Attractive women and children get it's a whole other set of problems. Like, we got pretty privilege, but there's a downside to that because everybody wants a piece. People want to conquer you. People want to steal your magic. They want to steal your joy. They want to get close to you. And that could be a fucking dangerous thing. No, we don't talk about that enough. Being attractive is fucking, as much as it's a perk, it's dangerous. A lot of women, we go through a lot of shit. SA, DV, stalking, harassing. It's a lot. But when you know better, you do better, you know? The downside is depressing. It is. It is. And then we don't talk about it because people was like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, well, don't nobody want to hear no bitch that look good complain. And it's not even a complaint. It's just me being real. You have an attractive, beautiful daughter growing up. You have to fucking protect her. You can't just have any niggas around. You cannot just leave her letting anybody babysit her. You can't just fucking do shit. Boys too. You can't, when you have beautiful children, when you're a beautiful person, you got to protect that. And we are not taught how to armor ourselves. And especially when you're young, for me, I could speak for me. I didn't know that I was as cute as I was because people always drug me down because they saw the light and they wanted to snuff it out. So I didn't understand. Once I started getting older and I was like, okay, like, you know, but it never was a cakewalk for me. I'll just say that. It's lonely too. It really is. It is. It is. But, you know, as lonely as it is, it's also peaceful. So I don't know. I've just accepted that this is my life and it's going to take a special ass motherfucking nigga for me to, like, really go there. I have to be inspired to, like, do real life with somebody. Like, I'm just, nigga, you got to inspire me. What the fuck? What? Because I swear for God, I feel like I have been in love and I did not want to take that plunge. I still was like, eh. And I'm talking about, I really felt in my heart like I was in love. But I just couldn't, and then I'm gonna just say this and then I'm gonna go and then we're gonna come back for another live. But me saying these things, right? A man would be like, oh, she bitter, she jaded, she this, she that. When it's men that fucking probably made me feel this way. They never take accountability for shit. Men will see a beautiful, shiny, vibrant young woman and ruin her fucking life. And then when she grows up and she's more mature, she's still beautiful, but now she's like, oh, I'm not fucking with that. Oh, she jaded, she did, she got bagged, she been in the bitch, how the fuck she got like that? She ain't get like that just out of nowhere. The fuck? Anyways, I love y'all. I will be back literally in a few. Make sure your notification bells are clicked. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. If you are new here, welcome to the Love Jones Show. I appreciate each and every one of you. This has really, I don't like doing this type of content because it triggers me and it's draining, but we do need to talk about these things. So that one particular story triggered me, and then I saw the other one. I'm like, we just need to like talk about it. And I didn't even know that we were getting unalived more than any other race of women in this country. I learned that today, just with you all. We all learned that together. So I'm sure some of you already do. I didn't know that. I knew that it was bad, but I didn't know it was that fucking bad. You know? Dang. Thanks, Mia. They never check. Never. They know another man hurt you. That's why they always ask who hurt you. But they don't ever talk about that. They just talk about women being bitter. Ain't that ironic? Like, oh, I just came out the womb bitter, bitch. Come on. It's terrible. All right, so like, comment, subscribe, share because I know you care. And I will be back in a few. Y'all already know what I'm gonna say. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. See you later. Hey, Norris. I'll be right back. Thanks, Felicia.